You are listening to the Cookbook Love Podcast with Maggie Green, episode number 416.
Welcome to the Cookbook Love Podcast, a podcast that celebrates cookbook readers, buyers, collectors, writers, and clubs. And now your host, cookbook author, culinary dietitian, and cookbook writing coach, Maggie Green.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Cookbook Love Podcast. How's everybody doing today? Hope you are all doing well. I am having a great day here in my cookbook bunker. Had a private coaching client earlier today. Have been working on the podcast and did a really nice summary of all of the podcasts that I have recorded, categorized them in terms of different topics, and I'm excited to talk with you more about that very soon so that you can perhaps have a guide to the podcast that will help you, especially search for and think about some of the older shows that I have that I know can definitely help people who love to read, write, and collect cookbooks. So today on the show, I'm bringing you an encore episode of Are There Too Many Cookbooks? This is a thought that many of my students and people on my email list have. It is holding them back from writing their own cookbook because they feel like there are too many cookbooks. So if this sounds like something that you maybe have been thinking, that you have thought, well, I'm not going to write a cookbook because that I believe that to be true, or someone has told you you shouldn't write a cookbook because there's too many cookbooks, I hope that this episode will speak to your heart and help you to see that we always will need more cookbooks for people who are new to a particular diagnosis, perhaps, new to a particular stage in life, or new to cooking or baking. So I hope you enjoy this encore episode, and here we go away to the show. I'm excited to be here to talk to you about the concept that there are too many cookbooks. I actually went through a period of time where I believed that there wasn't a need for any more cookbooks. I can't even really believe that I'm telling you this. And that I really sometimes thought that there wasn't a need for cookbooks written by me or cookbooks written by other people. And why would anyone care what anyone else had to say about food? And if you are interested in writing a cookbook, or if you collect cookbooks, I've even heard people tell me this when they come up to visit me at events where I'm selling my cookbooks, that they don't need any more cookbooks. I want you to know that you're not alone. I have an email that I send out to my email list, and one of the titles of the email was, "There are too many cookbooks." And it's always the email topic that I get the most responses from people who want to write cookbooks, because what I'm here to talk about today is not to tell you that there are too many cookbooks and not to convince you that there are too many cookbooks, because I really don't believe that that is true. Because after some soul searching and reflection, I soon realized that there is plenty of room for cookbooks. There's plenty of space for cookbooks, and that's what I want to talk about today. I don't think we've ever heard anybody say there's too many romance novels, too many cozy mysteries, too many children's books, too many self-help books, too much historical fiction or business books, marketing books. The only people that really think that that's true are people that genuinely do not like that genre of book, or people who want to write those books. If we were to set out to write a romance novel or a cozy mystery or a children's book or a self-help book or historical fiction or a new business book or a new marketing book, we truly might think the same thing. We may start to think, oh, there's already too many of those books anyway. Why would I ever need to add to this pile of business or marketing books or historical fiction? But what I like to think about, though, is that we only really start to see this plethora of cookbooks as a reason not to write the book instead of truly a reason to write it. What if the fact that there are so many cookbooks out there is the best reason to write a cookbook? Because the fact that they're out there and they're still printed and they're published and they're selling should be something that says to us, hey, this is a book that people are interested in. Because I want you to remember something. Every single person that is alive needs to eat. It doesn't matter how old you are, how big you are, how small you are, what your sex is, what you identify as, what the color of your skin is, whether you eat meat or whether you eat vegetables, it makes no difference at all. Every single human on the face of this earth needs to eat. And food touches everyone's life. And there may come a time in someone's life when they don't care about cookbooks, when all of a sudden they are diagnosed perhaps with a chronic illness, or they suddenly have a desire to cook more at home. They maybe want to save money on their groceries. They want to prepare better meals. They want to have a healthier body. They want to connect more with family and friends. They want to learn about a new technique. And all of a sudden, that person that faces this particular issue or desire will reach out to cookbooks to help teach them something that will help them heal or learn or have fun in the kitchen. So with all these eaters out there, and with the realization that a cookbook could help them with something that they need, books about how to prepare vegetables, how to reduce fasting blood sugar, how to make cupcakes, how to use air fryers, how to have fun planning a week's worth of meals, how to save money on grocery store expenses. These kinds of things matter because new people are always looking for updated and relevant information on these types of topics. And a lot of people, just like you, like to buy cookbooks to read them, to learn about something new or a new culture or a new food or a new take on things, even when you're someone that genuinely loves cookbooks. So there's never too many cookbooks. And I also want to say that our perspective as cookbook writers really matters. I just went through an exercise where I'm looking at cookbooks that are coming out this fall, people that I want to interview on the podcast. I'm receiving emails from public relations people at publishing houses. And I want to tell you that the topics of cookbooks are not that much different than they've always been, but they're being written by new people. We have baking books, we have vegan books, we have cookie cookbooks, we have some debut authors, which is very exciting. I love talking to debut authors. So there's always someone out there that this is their first cookbook. We have more sheet pan work. We have books about different kinds of equipment. And I did a whole podcast on all the different stories we tell in cookbooks. But I just want you to remember that your perspective on a topic matters. Even if 100 other people have written a cookie cookbook and you love cookies and you want to write a cookie cookbook, your perspective on the topic matters. And my perspective on the topic matters. And someone else's perspective on the topic matters. Because you know what? We can't each reach all the people that need to heal or learn or want to have fun in their kitchen. Any of us individually cannot do this alone, so we kind of have to do it together. And I really think that cookbooks offer this opportunity for us collectively to impact people with our books in a real way. Because food that people eat becomes part of their bodies and part of the life that they're living and part of their life experience in a way that other books never will be able to. They could feel better when they eat the food that you talk about in your cookbook. They could experience food in a new way. Their family could experience food in a new way. They could have some fun. They could learn something new. Our books really, truly impact people, and cookbooks do, in a multitude of ways. So yes, there are tons of cooks. There are tons of things to learn, lots of things for us to teach. But if we don't write the books that's going to help people when they need it, who's going to do it? If we all sit around and think that there's too many cookbooks being written and there's already too many books written and there's already too much, then we aren't motivated to want to continue. So even if others are writing books for the people and you see them now being published and now being for sale, and you're going to see more this fall, and I'm going to talk to more cookbook writers on the podcast, it doesn't make any difference. There's always more people who are eating, who are waiting for your perspective on the topic. And you have a unique message to share with someone who's probably a lot like you, shares a lot of the same values that you share, and there isn't any reason that you should stop pursuing the thought that you could write a cookbook and get it published just because you think there's too many cookbooks out there. There are not too many cookbooks out there. There's the perfect number of cookbooks out there, and there's always room for more. So I want this podcast to motivate you to document your recipes, document your stories, record what your family does, pay attention to everything that you cook and bake, let a cookbook concept unfold. And as always, if you are interested in writing a cookbook of your own, please reach out to me, get on my email list. You can join that by going to www.cookbookwritersacademy.com/free, signing up for my fun free training. You'll get on my email list and you'll start getting these emails where I start talking about cookbooks and cookbook writing to people who are interested in writing a cookbook. So thank you to those of you who have responded to this email. You were the reason that I decided to record this podcast episode. And thank you to those of you who have written cookbooks, and to those of you who buy cookbooks and collect cookbooks and have cookbook clubs and support this genre of books. There is not too many cookbooks. We need more cookbooks. We need more people like you to write cookbooks. We need to collect cookbooks. We need to keep this genre of book alive and thriving. And that's exactly why I'm here. And I think that's exactly why you're here. And I want to thank you again for tuning into the show today. As always, this is your host, Maggie Green. Have a great day and keep loving your cookbooks.
Thanks for listening to the Cookbook Love Podcast. You can find out more information at www.cookbooklove.co.